Well, day 11. It's not early morning, but it's morning, and not late morning, just morning. And I feel better today. I had some realizations yesterday that, um, really hit home on a lot of things and made me realize a few things. I'll try and share them with you guys now. So, first of all, when the situation happens, initially you have the sadness. And then it is possible for you to have a level of hate or anger come in. I had that level for a couple of minutes, but then I realized, you know, when you push people away through your actions, they're just reacting in a way that protects themselves. And so this action of her moving herself away is just her protecting herself from any needy behaviors I had. Because you look at that person as being someone who's going to fulfill what you do. Now, when I analyze the relationship, what did I need fulfilling in? I mean, I just really enjoyed her company. It was very intoxicating because she's very feminine and very friendly, and we had an excellent relationship from the standpoint of that friendship. We never fought. Always had lots of jokes. I've said this to you guys already, but where my neediness would come in would be, require or putting myself in her sphere too much. It's kind of like relationships are like baking a souffle. You can put all the ingredients in and heat up the oven, but if you're opening the oven door every 5 minutes, it's going to fall. And in the initial phases of our relationship, I remember way back when, I was quite a bit more distant than I was towards the end because, you start, as I mentioned to you earlier, as you start seeing your boat take on water, as a man, you're more apt to want to bail more, get a bigger bailer. In this case, hanging out more. So like I said, I feel much better now, knowing that I've identified what was going on with me. And also, I realize I'm doing everything I can right now. I mean, as I told you the other day, there's a big part of me wants to jump in the car and drive down and shake some sense into her. But that's not what has to happen because it just verifies in their mind why they left. Whether she's dating or not really is immaterial because the schlub that she gets with is just going to be some dude she's trying to plug a space that I used to occupy. And I'm a pretty impressive person from the standpoint of, how you just know when you're with someone, how it just clicks. And that's just not going to happen with that personally. Case in point is that when we were together, many of the people that she worked with, she didn't have a lot of friends. She had a pretty small group, actually almost next to none if you don't consider her family, just simply because of the kind of person she was. Her influence was such that a lot of people be intimidated by her, and I think that any schlub that comes along, that's going to be the case. But again, my behavior towards the end didn't reinforce my superiority, but so I'm going to rely more on the relationship previously, and I'm also going to rely on the incredible sexual connection that we had. That was, I'm going to say, it's pretty epic in my life. Over the top, and I'm not saying other guys can't get her done, but it's you can drive a Ferrari, you can drive a Chevrolet. They're both cars, but when you get behind the wheel, you know the difference. So I feel pretty good today. I feel like everything's just going to unfold as it does. Women, because women operate in a reactionary state versus they're in a reactive state versus a proactive state, meaning that, when she initiated this breakup, she was reacting to a climax of emotion she was having without really thinking it through on a longer term scale. And, because it's just that trigger moment, right? Whereas men tend to, if your foundation has a crack in it, you don't knock the house down, you figure out how you're going to fix the crack. Whereas women get a little more oh, that's it. Better level the house and start all over. But again, any placeholder that comes along, I feel sorry for the guy. I really do. Because she's a lovely person and they're gonna have a good time, but she's going to leave him and it's going to break him. And I actually told her this is going to happen. Because, I've had relations in the past where I get with someone and the person I'm with comes back and I'm, you really break the heart of the person you're with. So anyone I see right now, I'm really not going to dive in very deep out of respect for them. That's for sure. Yeah, I feel pretty good. As I said, it's, loneliness is something that, if you're the kind of person who can't make connections with other people, a time like this is going to be harder. I mean, my life, I've never been single for more than a month because I do have the ability to reach out and make connections and, just do things that make people want to be around you. People want to be around you when you're pleasant and make them feel good. And so if you haven't figured out how to do that with people, it's probably one of the things you can focus on for your life to get things, make things happen, not only on a personal level in relationships, but professionally and in business. It's a skill that definitely comes in handy. So like I said, day 11, once again, I'm not expecting her to contact for a while, but, I'm continuing to work on my law of attraction exercises. I think they're powerful. Again, they work very well in my business. And it's funny, I was thinking the other day, I was walking around, when I ask for some prosperity, I just let it go and it shows up. In this particular case, I've asked for this to be restored. I just have to wait for it to show up. But as I was saying to my son the other day, when it does show up, really have to stay in my power. And if I want this thing to go ahead again, because there's a chance I don't, right? I mean, I've said that she was a really good girl, but there are some things I can cite in our relationship which weren't 100% to my liking. But then again, I don't know any experience, any possession, any person that I've ever known that was quote unquote 100% to my liking. I don't think that's possible. I think you have to always look at a balancing act and look at how people are, I like ice cream. It's delicious, but I don't like the fact that it's calorie ridden. I like steak, a nice thick steak, and enjoy it. But the cholesterol count, these are just things that take the good with the bad. So I guess that's what I'm going to call this. I'm going to take the good with the bad. Yeah, it's good. So, like I said, day 11. Not going to keep you guys long because I will have more stuff in the future about some of my other relationships. But yeah, just if you're going through this right now, here's some realizations that are good to embrace. Thanks, guys.